Mike's on. He's ready to go. On the Fan. New York Sports Radio. Mike's on. Mike's on. He'll get you the sports any way that he can. It's Mike Francesa on the Fan. Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 FM. WFAN.
From the studios of WFAN, this is Mike's on. Francesa on the Fan on this Thursday, the 8th day already of November. As we move deeper into this week, begin Week 10 of the National Football League with a good Thursday night game for a change, as the Panthers and the Steelers will meet this evening. Two teams with serious aspirations this year, two teams playing good football right now, so good, very good game, as a matter of fact. This evening, you just heard in the sound bite at the top with Mink, Eli Manning talking about this week and, you know, the way things have worked out. And, you know, what have you done for me lately is a very, very common adage in sports, okay? I mean, it's about today. It's not about 10 years ago, 5 years ago, what you did 20 years ago. It's not about. You still got to go out there and perform. You got to be current. You got to go out and perform now. You got to deal with it now. I mean, listen, you do get something for having accomplished a great deal, as Eli has, but it does not keep him in his job. And clearly he has been told this week, as have, according to the head coach, all the Giants, but obviously the one people care about is the quarterback, that, hey, you want to show me why you should stay in the lineup. That's basically his message to his team now as they begin the second half of the season at a dismal 1-7, in desperate need of wins. And desperate, because if Shermer doesn't want to make his stay here be rather short, he needs to put some W's into that win total, into that column, because his career mark is without a whole lot of W's. And he's added 1 win and 7 losses to that ledger that already was very top-heavy in one side. So he needs some wins in the worst way, and he needs to get them, and he's obviously said, hey, get me in the end zone. And really, you know, in the old days, when you asked the head coach which quarterback you like, he always said, the one that gets me in the end zone. That was always the answer, the one that gets me in the end zone. Because in essence, that's your job. Your job is to find a way to get your team in the end zone. Doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter if you have 5 touchdown passes, no touchdown passes. Doesn't matter what the numbers say. What it's got to say is you got to put some points on the board. And that's something the Giants have not done. You look at Eli's overall numbers, despite the 31 sacks, there's some numbers there that jump out at you that are not bad. There's one number that jumps out that is horrific, really 2. And they've led to a third. The first is doesn't have any touchdown passes. The second, they don't score any points, and that's led to the third, which is a 1-7 record. So he knows this week he's been given the ultimatum. Give me a reason. In other words, win this game, and you start the next game. Doesn't matter if it's 17-16, 18-17, or 42-41. Now, if he goes out there and loses 41-40 and, you know, throws 5 touchdown passes, they're not going to bench him. There is always an exception to every rule. But the bottom line is they need a win. They're playing a Niner team that has won twice, one of them against the Raiders, and is without their wonderful young quarterback. They play Tampa the week after. So the Giants can realistically put together back-to-back wins and then start to, at least for 1 week as they prepare for the Eagles' dream the dream, that they can run the table. Because 9 wins could win this division. And if you don't think you can win 8 games in a row, you shouldn't be in that room. Now, are they going to win 8 games in a row? Hell no. Because they can't patch up their problems. They have not fixed the offensive line for 1 game. So why would I think they're going to fix it for 8? And that remains their biggest issue. But it comes down on the quarterback, and then everyone will get their wish, and they'll get the backup in there, and they'll see that things don't get any better. But that's fine. That doesn't matter. First things first, and that's get a win in San Francisco, and then you get to play another day. That's basically what he's telling the team. Give me a reason to play you the next week. Give me a reason so that there is no issue. So that when I meet the media after the game, no one's going to ask me who's playing next week because we won the game. That's what Sherman needs. That's what he wants. That's what he's demanding, and I don't have any problem with that. And hopefully he goes out Monday night and throws 5 touchdown passes and everyone shuts up for a couple of weeks. It's the best thing that could happen for the Giants. We'll see if it does. Number 2, Boras has always been entertaining. Whether he is, fabricating some outrageous thing about a client of his or he's attacking somebody, he's fairly entertaining. And now he's got a new target, obviously, with the Mets' new general manager, which irks him. Probably partially because he isn't the guy. Probably that's part of it. But also he's always had it out for the Mets for a long time. And his latest one was, I think, like always, in the end, the Mets will shop at Fred's. Now, in essence, when the smoke clears, the Mets will be... Now, Fred's is obviously alluding to Fred Wilpon, but also Fred's is a discount store that is in the Southeast, like a dollar store or a John's Bargain store or a dollar store, whatever's in your area. One of those stores where you can get everything for $1. Well, that's what Fred's is, and that's Boris's point. Mets don't shop for Tiffany. Once he said they go down the frozen food aisle. In essence, if you're looking for them to shop for my guys, you can think again. We'll see if that's the case. Probably is. You don't expect to see any of the high-priced guys winding up with the Mets, but we'll see where they go. And it'll be very interesting to see exactly. And obviously, Boras has got his slings out for the Met new general manager. And the Mets need to, I think, because a lot of baseball is uneasy, is the word, or perplexed by what went on here with the Mets. Now, you heard crazy stuff about collusion and stuff like that. Forget that nonsense. That's nonsense. But the bottom line is everybody's waiting to see what he does. And Brody can get up there and make comments, and he can get up there and make declarations and made bold statements and look very, sure of himself. But we need to see some moves. We need to see some examples of how this is going to get better. And they need change. Everyone's expecting change from the Yankees. You can expect a good deal of it. Everyone is demanding change from the Mets and hoping they get some. Now, when we get to November, which means Thanksgiving's right around the corner, which it is, and it's early this year. It's the 22nd of the month, which I believe, someone could correct me, but I believe is the earliest it can be. It might be off by a day, but I think that's the earliest it can be in terms of the numbers. But that means on the 20th, we do the Hungerthon. We always do it the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Now, the Hungerthon is always on the Fan. The reason I bring that up is they're going to open up the auction items, and they wanted me today to give you just a little preview so you can go to the website and start bidding on these, and then they will close them the day we do the Hungerthon, which we will on the Fan on the 20th. It culminates with my show late in the day. But there's a whole bunch of items, and they asked me to basically tell you that these are the auction items that you can bid on at hungerthon.org/WFAN right up until the 20th. And on the 20th, we ask you to be generous again for those who have less. And as an audience, the Fan audience in general and my audience in particular has been very, very good. So we ask you again to do that, whatever little bit you can help this year, whatever, $1, $2, whatever, for those who might not be in as good a shape as you are on Thanksgiving. And I understand, some of the numbers might be good in the economy. It doesn't mean everybody's doing well. We know that's not the case. So all you have to do is walk down the street in New York and you know that's the case. Here's the packages. Visit the set of the NFL today and meet the hosts. 4 tickets to the Jersey Devils game with a meet and greet. Go behind the scenes at CBS Sports and experience March Madness. Visit the FAN studio in the city. For Delta Sky 360 tickets to a 2019 game of your choice for the New York City Football Club. Now, the following packages close online on the 20th at 1 p.m. 4 pregame field passes and mezzanine level club tickets to the Jets at Houston, which is December 15th at MetLife. Also, a visit to the studios to watch the show at the Fan. The first one was for the morning show. The second one is for the Joe and Evan show. The following packages close at 3 p.m. on the 20th for club seats to the 2019 Red Bulls, 4 pregame field passes and tickets to the Giants and the Cowboys game on the 30th at MetLife, plus a team signed jersey signed by Barkley. So you get a Barkley signed jersey and 4 tickets plus field passes for the Giants Cowboys on the 30th. So you Cowboy fans or Giant fans, you can maybe have 2 Giant fans and one of them gets the Barkley jersey, and take 2 Cowboy fans who are going to sit there and tell you how good their team is. Or you can both commiserate how bad you both are. Also, in the 3 o'clock hour, you can visit the Fan Studio and visit the CMB show. Then these close at 6:30. 2 second-row center orchestra seats to see Springsteen on Broadway on December 1. Now, you know Springsteen's very big into Hungerthon. So these are 2 center-row orchestra seats to Springsteen on Broadway on December 1. Now, this closes, I think, the 15th or the 18th. It's over. And I understand it's a very expensive ticket. It's not a cheap ticket, as you know. This ticket costs a lot of money, and it's a hard ticket to get. Plus, as soon as it closes, they're going to show the show on Netflix, and a new album's coming out from the stuff that's going on the theater. But the theater's closing very soon. So here's your chance to get it, and that'll close at 6:30 that night. 2 second-row center orchestra seats. Those are obviously from Bruce, because Bruce is very, very good to the charity. 2 tickets to see Billy Joel, plus get a guitar signed by Billy Joel. Very nice. Billy's always playing the Garden, as you know. He's always selling out the Garden. Plays there all the time. Does a great job. I've gotten to see him plenty of times there, and that's very nice of him to do that. 4 Delta tickets for the Mets 2019 a home game, plus batting practice on the field, plus parking. 4 legend seats to a Yankee game, plus a Reggie Jackson autograph ball. So that's 4 legend seats to a Yankee game. I don't know if there's any restrictions on the game. And then a visit to the Fan Studios to come watch our show. And we'll throw in some other stuff before the night, that day for that. We'll give you some of our Mike's on shirts. Mons will come up with some Fan goodie bags and some Mike's on goodie bags. And we'll come up with something else. Maybe you can go out to dinner with Mons one night. I might chase him away.
Can Mink join?
Mink yes. Can go with Mons. Absolutely. I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll throw into the package. Fan visit to the city. The goodie bags from FAN and the Mike's On show. Mike's On app. Also, dinner for you and a guest with Mons and Mink at whatever restaurant in the city you guys ask for. So if it's, Del Frisco's, it's Del Frisco's. If it's, Il Molino, it's Il Molino. If it's, any restaurant you want, you pick the restaurant. We'll pick up the tab. And you get to have dinner with Mons and Mink, 2 of you, as part of the package. So that's part of the package too. and we'll pick up the dinner tab. I'll pick up the dinner tab for you and Mink, because Mink's not picking up and Mons is picking up. So the bottom line is, I'll pick up the dinner tab, and Mink and Mons will go out, and by the time dessert comes, you'll be like trying to run out of the building. So listen. But hey, at least you get a meal. Actually, you'll have a lot of fun with Mink and Mons. So these packages. What'd you say, Mons?
The lemon cake.
Oh, if you go to Del Frisco's, you got to get the lemon cake. So we'll throw in the lemon cake, and we'll even let you take some home, because the lemon cake, you got to take it home and have your people at home try it, because it's the best cake. I actually bring people sometimes. I stop by sometimes to get the cake for people, because they'll say, "Can you get the lemon cake?" And my daughter does it. I mean, the lemon cake is unbelievable. It's the best cake anywhere. It really is. At Del Frisco's. And Del Frisco's is a great restaurant. So you go see Felix. Felix will take good care of you. Del Frisco's is always packed, because the food's great. So best steakhouse in the city. So you can go there, or you can go Italian. You can go whatever, You can go to one of the new trendy places. I mean, whatever. You go down to Little Italy, right down there. You can go whatever one you want. So the following packages either close, and then there's another package. Excuse me, I forgot one. I apologize. The following package closes at 7:15, and that is a studio visit to see Steve Summers, and that show will be between 6:50 and 7:05 that night. So you come in, you don't even take your coat off, and you're in, you're out. It's quick, it's painless. Get to see Summers. I promise you one thing, he'll be dressed in black. That's all I can tell you. I don't know anything else, but I know he'll be dressed in black. Of course, he's always dressed in black. That's why I always know. So you can get to meet him, and he'll do something with you that he wants to do, which I have no idea, but I'll leave that up to him. So that's what you have. All these packages. Go to WFAN. Go to, hungerthon.org/WFAN. Hungerthon.org/WFAN. These are all open now until the 20th. They'll close at different times, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6:30, 7:15. So they're all up there now. You can bid on them. We'll mention them periodically through the days. And we ask you to be generous. They do a great job with Hungerthon. They really do. It's a really good charity. I've done a lot of work with it through the years. Their heart's in the right place. They're very talented people at it. They raise a lot of money. Bill Ayers, has made this his life's, work. It's a labor of love for him. He started it with the late Harry Chapin. Harry Chapin was one of the most remarkable guys ever, and I never met him. But the reason I know that is he did every other concert for charity. Now, I've heard of guys being charitable, like Springsteen's always charitable, does stuff for every food bank, gives them a guitar every year, gives them tickets every year, gives them stuff every year, puts tickets aside in every city. Very generous. But nobody has ever done what Harry Chapin did. Every other concert was for charity. I've never even heard anything like that. That guy's a saint. And, this was his deal, and he and Bill Ayers and Bill's now handed it off to the next generation. He's still involved. He'll come in, but he's kind of handed it off to the next generation now, and they're doing a great job with it. But there's a lot of work to be done, and obviously we need your help. And every time we ask you guys to help, you do a great job. And at Thanksgiving, you know what? It makes you feel better when you help somebody before Thanksgiving. Then you can sit down on Thanksgiving, and say, hey, I gave thanks, and at least I helped somebody else who needed a little help at Thanksgiving time. So that's the idea. That's why we get involved, and we've always been involved. And our show is very much involved, and always has been. So we'd like to get involved and help them as much as we can, for a very good cause. So that's what's coming up, and it's coming up early this year. Today's the 8th. It's coming up in 12 days because Thanksgiving is the 22nd. As a matter of fact, today, for you historians, November 8th, 1960, John F. Kennedy, in one of the closest elections in history, was elected President of the United States in a very, very tight race with Richard Nixon, who came back, obviously, to win election and then re-election, and then screw the whole thing up with a third-rate burglary, as we all know. As the saga goes, Kennedy was, awaiting all the election returns with everybody in Hyannisport. And if you've ever seen those pictures of that, and I actually went there to see the place because I had to go see it once. So I've been there to Cape Cod, and I've gone to Hyannisport and seen it. And it's amazing that it's not as big as you think it is. But they were there, and he went off to one of the side cottages where he and Jackie stayed. They had a little house there, and went to sleep because he didn't want to wait up anymore, and they weren't getting any. They weren't going to find out. Nixon wouldn't concede. It was still very close. It was razor thin. And when he woke up the next morning, Caroline ran in and said, "Good morning, Mr. President." And she was followed by her nanny, Mrs. Shaw. And JFK said, "Is that true, Mrs. Shaw?" And she said, "Yes, it is, Mr. President." So that's how we found out that he had won. So that's a long time ago. Lots gone on since then, that's for sure. But that was 1960, November 8th, this day. So long, long time ago. Back after this.